Hey everyone, let's talk books. So today I want to do a wrap up of all the books that I've been reading in May. I didn't read as many books as I thought I would. I thought I would get in a couple of extra ones, but I think I still did pretty good in May. Most of these I read on ebook, so I'm taking a look at my Goodreads list here, and let's see. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I read 6 books in May. Let's start going through them. So the first one that I finished is Size 14 is Not Fat Either. This is book number 2 in the Heather Wells series by Meg Cabot. It's a series that I've really been enjoying, and I've really been giving kind of 3 to 4 stars. Size 14 is Not Fat Either, in particular, just I read it at the right time. I needed to read something that wasn't super serious, but that was fun and entertaining, and that was just the perfect book at the right time. I got sick at the beginning of May. I had really severe congestion, and so I didn't do a ton of reading at the beginning of May, but I like to read before bedtime, and this was just a nice book to kind of read late at night when I was dealing with severe congestion, because I was not getting a ton of sleep anyway. So anyways, that book was really, really great. The next book, I was kind of trying to do a lot of comfort reading in May because I was sick. I was super busy at the beginning of May, and so I just needed that kind of comfort reading. So the next book that I read was Vengeance in Death by J.D. Robb, or aka Nora Roberts, and this is number 6 in the In Death series. So this kind of had to do with this new technology out there that was helping a criminal basically get away with murder, and he was taunting our lead detective, Eve Dallas. Now, the reason that these books are comfort food for me is because they have mystery. The mystery, though, is sometimes it's not that interesting. This one in particular was interesting, but what I like most about this series is that relationship between Eve Dallas and her husband, Rourke. They have just, I feel like it's a much more realistic portrayal of a relationship, especially in these kind of mystery thriller books, where you see them struggling with the kinds of issues that couples struggle with, and it's also not a will they, won't they. Like, the story doesn't depend on will they have sex, on will they get together. They're married at this point in the series, and so I've just really been enjoying those aspects of it. It's also set in the future, so it's kind of fun to see the way that Nora Roberts kind of put in her ideas of what the future would look like. Really cool. Anyways, I've been enjoying that as well. I gave Size 14, by the way, 4 stars because I just read it at the right time, the right place. Vengeance in Death is 3 stars. These are, fun, light books. They're not super serious, so they're not going to be 4 or 5 stars, but it's books I really like, books that I recommend if you if the premise and the story interests you, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to hey, you must read these. No, but they're very good books. All right, the next book I read, I found because of Chelsea here on BookTube. She talked about it. She talked about it in a video. I think she did, and I think I also saw her posting about it on social media. But it's Dear Dwayne with Love by Eliza Gordon. And the minute she told me what this book was about, I knew I had to read it. It is available for free if you have, if you have it on Amazon Prime. It is available through Reading Prime, so you don't need Kindle Unlimited in order to get it for free there. But I gave this 3 stars. It's about a girl who is in love with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and she writes him letters, kind of as a kind of diary or journal, in which she kind of tells him about her life. She doesn't mail the letters or anything like that. She just uses it as a way to kind of cope and deal with her life and her family, and she's got a chaotic family, and things are happening to her. There's a contest going on in Portland, I think that's where she lives, in which The Rock is going to offer the winner of kind of athletic event he offers the winner kind of walk-on role on his next movie, and she is an actress. So she immediately goes on this quest to get in shape and get ready because she wants to meet The Rock and be in his movie. So it is a super cute book. There's drama and tension in it, and the reason I had to read it the minute I heard about it is because I have been in love with The Rock ever since his WWE days. Actually, it was WWF back in the day, but I was really into wrestling. My brother got me really into wrestling, and I, I, I fell in love with The Rock. I was obsessed with him. I had his posters. Even in college, I had his posters. I went to see The Scorpion King, The Rundown, all of his early movies. Then his movies kind of got weird, so I stopped going to them. But I'm back on a obsession with The Rock. I have gone to see his last 4 movies. He's just someone I really like, I admire. I think he does action and comedy really, really well. And it was clear even back in his WWF days that he had a charisma and a kind of movie star quality about him. In high school, we did a project in which I ended up doing it all about my love for him. So anyways, I just really connected with the main character in the book at that level. And kind of, we shared this love for The Rock. And if you liked him at all, I think you'd really enjoy the book. If you are a fan of him now, you'd really enjoy the book. Eliza Gordon, I think, really captured his personality, at least the way it comes off in public, really, really well. So anyway, I do recommend that one. I'm giving it 3 stars because, again, it's not a super serious book, but it is really cute, really adorable, really enjoyable. Okay, next up, I read A Hope Divided by Alyssa Cole, and it's number 2 in the Loyal League series. I read number 1 in that series last summer. I think it was last summer. I bought it at the LA Times Festival of Books, and I didn't know there was a second book. It's a romance novel, so if you're not into romance novels, you're not gonna like it. But this one is set in the Civil War, and it is it features the main character is a woman who is a free Black woman in the South, and she has been taken care of by her white family. Her mom had won her freedom and had been raising her early on, but she knew that the white family was going to be able to offer her daughter more opportunities, so she basically sends her to the white family at an early age, and she grows up as a member of this family, but this kind of in-between place where the community recognizes her as a member of this family, but she's Black, and so there's not full acceptance, right? She's not quite respected in the same way that she would have been had she been white. So the Civil War breaks out, and she is devoted to the Union cause, even though she's in the South, and so is the white family that she's living with, except for who she thinks is her brother, who married a Southern girl who believes in the Confederacy. And so that places her and the whole family in a lot of danger. She falls in love with a white Union soldier whose whose contributions to the Union are a little bit questionable. More than a little bit, they're very questionable. So it's these two kind of flawed people meeting in a time of turmoil, and it's a really cute story. I really got into it. I really like Alyssa Cole's writing. I have one other of her books up on my TBR list for this summer, but I really like the way she writes. I like her story set in the Civil War because it also offers you a different perspective of the Civil War, but one that most people would find not realistic. I'm a historian. I actually know that these stories are much more realistic than we think about. There were Southerners who did not believe in slavery and who supported the North, who supported the Union. And I'm not saying all of them did, but there were people that did. Not everybody in the South supported the institution of slavery and supported the Confederacy. So I liked that aspect of it in this book, and the romance story was really cute, really great, it worked for me. So if you're in the mood for a romance novel set in the Civil War, I highly recommend A Hope Divided and the whole series, actually. All right, the next book that I read was for my book club, and it is The Humans by Matt Haig. This was so adorable. I'm giving this one 4.5 stars. The only reason why it's not getting 5 stars for me is because the hype for this was really, really high, and I'm not sure if it quite met the hype, but it got right there to it, I think, at a 4.5. I found out about this book because of Emily Fox on BookTube, and she recommended buying the UK edition of this because it features the dog rather than the human face that the American edition does, and it's so cute. One of the best parts of this book, and my book club agreed on this, is towards the end. Well, first let me tell you the premise. So the premise of the book is that there's an alien from a really far away civilization sent to Earth to kill the scientist, the mathematician, who basically solved the problem of prime numbers. And they believe that humanity is not ready for that breakthrough. That breakthrough, according to the story, would just open up the mysteries of the universe for humanity, and they believe that humans are too violent at this point to be able to properly kind of deal with the openings that this solving this math problem would do. And so they sent the alien to kill the mathematician and to kill anybody that knows anything about the solution to the math problem. But the alien doesn't know very much about humanity. This alien civilization has some information on humanity, but none of them don't have a deep understanding of humanity. So the alien is dropped into Earth, and everything is foreign and alien, pun intended, to him. Everything from like architecture to the human face, the human body. He initially is running around kind of naked and trying to figure out, all right, how his next step. And he sees a Cosmopolitan magazine, and those are basically the first ideas he has about humanity come from Cosmopolitan. So not the best place to find out about humanity, but it provides for some interesting kind of humor at the beginning of the book. There is a dog in the story. This was probably one of my favorite parts as well. The dogs, I love dogs. I have two, and anyways, I loved his observations about dogs and pets. But the very best part of the book, I think, was towards the end. There's a section in which he writes a set of, I think it's 99 or 100? No, sorry, 97 pieces of advice on basically advices for humans. And some of the gems in here, they're just really wonderful. Like, this is stuff that I think one could live by. Towards the end, one that really struck me, it was number 92. And it's, if you have children and love one more than the other, work at it. They will know. Even if it's by a single atom less. A single atom is all you need to make a very big explosion. Oof, that really spoke to me, I think, a lot. Not because I felt unloved by my parents. I don't. In my family, I think all of my siblings and I, we all feel like we're not the favorite, like somebody else is the favorite. And that has impacted our dynamics a little bit. And so it really spoke to me in that way. And anyway, the other gems in here, like number 1 is shame is a shackle, free yourself. And I'm like, man, it's such a simple thing, but it's also a really deep thing. The way in which shame dictates and guides our actions sometimes, and kind of the pointlessness of that. Anyway, I really, really enjoyed this book. It is a kind of study of humanity, things that drives us, a little bit of exploration of the meaning of life and the way we approach love. Um, really, anyways, really cute, funny story, deep analysis of humanity. It just checked off a lot of boxes for me, and I really enjoyed reading this. So thank you so much to Emily Fox for recommending it and talking about it in her channel. It was a really great one. All right, and lastly, the last book I read, just finished, literally just finished it, was book number 3 in the Heather Wells series by Meg Cabot, and it is called Big Boned. So in this story, she is dealing with having a boyfriend and someone else getting murdered in the residence hall where she works. And I really enjoy the series. I'm giving it 3 stars as well because it was fun. It's light. It involves a mystery. I love mysteries. And in those mysteries, because it's being solved by Heather Wells, who is a former pop star who has gained a lot of weight, has lost all her money, and is kind of trying to deal with the aftermath of kind of the trauma she went through. There's these discussions of like body image, and I really enjoy it. I just really enjoy it. Fun book. If you haven't checked out the Heather Wells series and it sounds interesting to you, I really think you should pick it up. Read the first book, see if you're gonna like it. You don't have to commit to the whole thing, but I've really been enjoying the Heather Wells series, and I'm going to continue reading that one as well. So that is it for the books that I read in May. For June, I have big plans. I have big reading plans for June because it is basically the 1 month in which I have more uninterrupted reading time. The problem with that is that I have so many books I want to read. Way too many. So where do I get started? I'm not 100% sure. So I will figure it out. If my next video is not a TBR, then you'll know I didn't quite figure it out. But that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts on the books that I read, or you disagree with my rating or my thoughts on it, feel free to disagree. Let me know down below. I'm always happy to hear other people's opinions and to have a discussion if warranted. But that's it for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.